Hello my dear Capricorn, this is your love and spirituality reading for the time between June 1st and June 15, 2018 with me, Queen of Cups Tarot. I read for the signs in the order of most liked videos, so don't forget to hit the thumbs up button and show the love, okay? I have put astrological information for the month of June in a video of its own that you can check out in my playlist Q&A. You can also find it at my webpage www.queenofcupstarot.se. The reading can go both ways. The message is for the people that watch it. So if you cross-watch for another sign and recognize yourself as the main person of the reading, just trust your own intuition and you will get the message that you need. I've added a new deck to my general readings that I have used successfully for my private clients for a long period. The lovely Arjosen I will use for the more spiritual mid-month readings. So the new deck is the Druidcraft Tarot by Philip and Stephanie Cargom, illustrated by Will Worthington, and I will start shuffling your cards. So when I open the deck here, I see the Wheel and the Two of Wands. So actually Cancer also had the Two of Wands in this position, but Five of Wands here, and you have the Wheel that's 10, the Wheel of Fortune. So it seems like maybe you want to step off the carousel, okay? The wheel, it's when the divine is interfering in our life, it's destiny, it's also karma. So it can feel like the control is out of your hands and you really want to get it back. So the wheel is of course here to eventually improve your life, because if we are struck by karma, for example, it's so we can solve it. And if destiny comes, yeah, it's our destiny, so it's no need to make a fuss about it. And if it's the divine involved, they want only to evolve you, to make you be able to do the things that you are set out to do here in this lifetime. But the Two of Wands, it's like a card of choice. You are standing at a crossroad and at a gateway, at a door, and you're like hesitating a little bit to go in. It is not a card of weakness. It's a very strong card. These two wands is kind of the Tibetanian power symbols, okay? We can see them much better depicted in the Tot Tarot, but it's power, and you use it for self-control, use it for creating good things in your life. So it's just that you might be using your will over the divine will in this case. I'm not saying that this is true. It might be that you just don't want to go into the karmic wheel situation again. Maybe you are you see certain things kind of repeating in your life over and over and over, and this is you saying, okay, I've seen it now, I don't want to do that all over again. So you need to decide for yourself if it is that you are resistant towards the challenges that comes with the wheel, and you don't trust in the divine, so you use your own will to try to put a break to this situation, or it is that you are actually waking up and seeing that there's a better way of doing this. Okay, so I call the divine with love and light, and here we have the Hangman together with the Two of Wands. So the Hangman, it's kind of a purification. It's also it's maturity, right? It's like bar mitzvah, okay? You are going through something and so you can mature, so you can step into the realm, the door of something totally different, something you couldn't imagine in your wildest imaginations. When we finally learn the lesson and we do it through challenges like this, spiritual challenges, big sacrifices, we might have to sacrifice things that's really important to us. It is like going through a door. We are always rewarded. So if you need to let go of some stuck old energy to get through the door, well, do it. The Hangman, the card before, is 11, Justice. So all the twos are connected to the Justice card, but also the High Priestess card and the Judgment card. So it's big things in movement, even if it's just the two. Do the lesson and stay sharp like this, but don't use this sharpness to resist whatever it is that you need to do that might be a little bit uncomfortable. It will be uncomfortable, but it will come great rewards. Okay. So I call the 4 archangels in the 4 corners of the world. And yes, here we see the world. So it's the 21, the world card, and 2 of wands. So this is you when you have gone through the 12, 21, 12. Both are connected to 3. The Empress card, 1 plus 2 is 3. So this is the reward I was talking about. This is when you finally kind of get it, and you can play with the universal energies because they are at your disposal, because you have done the work, you have grown up and taking the responsibility and doing whatever is necessary to get you here. So it might be that you're using a lot of strength to take yourself out of difficult repetitive situations. 10, 11, like with the justice that I just talked about, and then 12, the hangman, and 21, the world, if you throw the numbers around. So you are in a very particular path in your growth that's kind of require you to step through the door and become an adult, taking responsibility, not being a victim anymore, not blaming anything on other people, but taking the responsibility. If you don't like what people are giving you, then you leave the room, okay? You go and search for things in more prosperous hunting grounds. So you're not longer waiting at like a dried up well in the desert and hope that it will give you water. So you're not staying in dried up relationship, dried up situations. So that might be the strength that we are seeing here. You're saying no to these things, even if you still have hope, you still have dreams, you wanted it to be in another way, but here is you using your force to and self-control to take you out of a situation, and it's good, okay? It's very good. So I call the 6 elements: earth, wind, fire, water, spirit, and ether to join us here today. And here we have the 8 of wands together with the 2 of wands. So it's really like you have a windfall of things happening just because you said no, just because you took some control over the situation, just because you grew up, just because you didn't wait for someone else to help you. This is a person that it's a little bit suspicious, a little bit judgmental, as connected to this card I mentioned with the High Priestess and Judgment and Justice. So you're seeing things very clearly, and you can choose things that's better for you. And that is what's releasing the energies, because it's the law of repulsion. When you say no to things you don't want, the things you do want have more place in your life, okay? So you are kind of a magician, okay? So use the magic by being like whatever you say yes to, whatever you are obsessing with, whatever you say no to, whatever you put a lot of attention to will be created in your life. So I call all these elements to shooting away card. 6 of wands. Yes, victory will be yours, Capricorn. 6s are harmony. This is win-win situations. Because when you hold your horses and don't let yourself fall into the same stupid situation over and over again with people that you kind of have the hope that things will change, but you're not using your own willpower. You are leaning on hoping that other people will step up to the challenge or do the work. Here instead, you are being like a good example. So whatever you do, remember that you also need to be a good example for others. So showing them 2 of wands is kind of like a boundary. So with your boundary, you're showing people how you want to be treated as well. And it's giving you a lot more respect as well. Okay. To join us here today and to give us a clear view reading for my dear Capricorn viewers. So I want my dear Capricorns to have love in their lives. 6 of Pentacles, another 6. So it's about equal give and take. So that is what's needed for you to be able to step forward in this situation, equal give and take. So that's probably why you are putting the Two of Wands, the self-control here. So, I want my dear Capricorn to have love in their lives. Yes, like this, 10 of Pentacles. So, it's like you're not supposed to be in war. You're supposed to be smart and have self-control and not be dramatic, not falling into the same pit hole again, but you're supposed to do it with grace. You're supposed to do it with heroic grace, I would say. 6 of Wands, 6 of Pentacles, and now the 10 of Pentacles. It's a certain warmth to all these cards. It's a person that has the best for themselves before their eyes, but also the best for the people around them. So it's really grown up, it's really gracious, and this is what you want to create. You want to create beautiful foundations for yourself, beautiful prosperous situations. This can be a windfall of money, it can also be a marriage, it can be a stable love relationship, it can be ordinary whatever family situation or co-worker situation in your life, but it's a place of value. It's a place where we get the treasures from our lives, where we get a sense of security. And this is of course kind of your card, Capricorn, because Capricorn are a sun sign of hard work, organization, getting the job done. So you, if ever someone, you will get the job done. Changing the whole pattern here in whatever situation you are in, and doing so with grace and well organized, and also with this blissful warmth that I'm feeling. So you have really high demands on you to be very grown up and very smart, wise, and also very friendly in this situation, even towards your worst enemy. So it's not about backing down, it's rather about showing a better way, showing a better example, also being full of self-respect, like what we saw with the Two of Wands. So don't forget that part. It's hard when we can't like lean to either black or white, when we need to use different things. It's very easy if we decide I am a grumpy person and then we just be a grumpy person, or I'm a very friendly person and then we are always friendly. But here you need to be like sometimes to be strict and sometimes to be friendly and then be strict again and then friendly and friendly and strict and strict. So it's up to you to be very wise and to know what's needed in your different situations. So I want my dear Capricorn to have love in their lives and to find themselves in loving relationships. I also want you to have creative success and to be able to walk on your highest path towards your highest destiny. So, oh, great. It's a very big deck, but it's I love this deck. I have used it very successfly for my clients for long periods of time. But this is a brand new one because the other got worn out. They will get... they are not nice. The back sides of the card is not nice. It's brown, and eventually they will get worn. So it's a little bit difficult to keep this deck maintained. But it's very hard cards, so they are not easily. It's really hard to shuffle also, but they are resilient. Okay, so I will just tune in to you, Capricorn, and your reading for a few seconds here. So, my dear Capricorn, this is your future there, and this is your now there, and this is the past. So in the past we have 5 of Pentacles, so it's feeling alone, feeling like there's no, you don't get any action. It's like you're lost in loneliness and in the cold. It can also be scarcity of money. The value you have on yourself is the value you have in your wallet. So when you start loving yourself more, you will also get more money, as accordingly with the law of attraction. with the Five of Pentacles, we feel like a victim, like someone has excluded us, like we are not worthy of more money because the universe hates us and so on. But from what I've seen with other cards, this is what you have taken yourself away from. You are not a part of this sad story anymore. You are telling yourself a different story, one that's more true to what you want to create. Okay. So that was the past. It's May, probably. Can be a longer period of your life. It can be your whole life as well. And here we have the Sun. This card also came for Cancer, very obvious. So the Sun card, it's about being your soul. Now you are your soul. You are your true self. The person you were when you came. You have taken away all that, all the old conditioning, so you can step out now as your true you, the soul you, the person that's like heart and soul and mind, everything is in union. So it's a very great card. It's the highest card for love in the whole deck. First six the lovers, we meet someone, fall in love. 14 Temperance card, it's the alchemic wedding, where we meet the other person's demons when we want to say that we lived happily ever after, but it was actually then the work begun. So we are meeting the other person's demons, and we are supposed to grow from it and expand our own awareness by being put in contradiction, like in fight, in competition with another person that thinks and feels and acts in the opposite way than do we. So that is making us expand and understand more, see more of the world, so to speak. And here the Sun card, this might be when the happy ever after come, because it's when two holy people join in the holy matrimony. And in this case, I'm thinking it's you and all your archetypes and what I said, your soul, heart, mind, body, everything is aligned beautifully. You're seeing things now that you didn't see before. And here is your future, and we have the wheel, so it doesn't, you can't skip a step, okay? The wheel, we have Sun, 19, 1 plus 9, 10, 1 plus 0, 1, the Magician. So the karma will repeat itself, the situation will repeat itself, but you will become the magician, the enlightened one with the Sun, to see the situation, what is needed, and like what kind of action or visions or manifestations that is needed for you to take yourself out of here. It's like lucid dreaming. Now you are awake in this karmic dream, so now you can make better decisions. You are not just in the loop on unknowingly caught in the karma, not knowing what it is that's happening and how you can take yourself out of there. So like when we are dreaming a dream, a nightmare, for example, and we don't know that it's a nightmare. Now you know that it's a nightmare, and you can take better decisions to create a better future for yourself by solving this karma once and for all. Karma isn't out to get us. It's just if we experience something from one angle, we are going to create it's like an energy pattern that might be connected to the planets, how they are in the sky that time. So you have this certain action, and then you are going to have to see it from the other side. When the planets are in the same position again, you are going to be in a situation that's the same, but from the opposite situation, and then it might be many different situations and angles you can see this from. It's just to make yourself more aware, to be everything, everywhere, okay? So you're here many lifetimes to see everything from many different angles. So it can be, if you have been always the victim, you need to become the perpetrator. If you you can't understand people that's sick, why they are so lazy, and then you get sick and you realize they were not lazy, and things like this. You need to see it just from different, if you haven't seen it, you can't put yourself in the other person's perspective or situation. So you need to walk like actual miles in different shoes to get this. So it's not punishment, it's how life has been built here. And the Earth is ceasing to be a karmic planet. We are going to learn by different ways in the future. It's going to be more instantly coming back to us, the feedback, because we are grown enough now to take it. But we still need to purify all the karma that we have been through, like understand, like we need to get it so we can move on through the doorway, the Two of Wands. Okay, so my dear Capricorn, this is your past. And here we have the Ten of Pentacles, this place of value. See that it's a 10 also, so it's connected to all the 10s. The Wheel of Fortune can also be, you know, great luck. If you have worked your wonders well, you will have great luck. If you have spelled your magic spells well, if you have done the homework, you will of course get rewards also with the 10s. So it's not all just doom and gloom and karma. Whatever you have planted will come back to you. And here you obviously had planted something great, because in the past you had something great, something of great value, something that made you warm inside your heart and felt secure on this earth. Even though everything is constantly under change, you felt security with that card. And then we have the Six of Wands. So Six of Wands is this energy of, it's like, I feel like you were assigned a mission. You needed to show the world how they are supposed to do this, what you already do so great. Okay, so it's again going back to why Capricorns are here all together, like doing things great and getting great results. So with the Six of Wands, I went through it when we shuffled. It's about being the bigger person, being the like showing a good example. It's also about getting a lot of tension. So we'll see where it goes. And here we have the Two of Pentacles. So this is when things might start to rumble a little bit. I think I get like some similar things with Cancer. They had the Hierophant here, so it's like tribe, society. And here you got Ten of Pentacles. That's like family and family tradition and values, money. So it's kind of the same energy. And then they got Sagittarius here, and you got the Six of Wands. So it's a little bit the same energy. I'm thinking this, you had a safe situation, maybe power even. It might be that Capricorn had a lot of power and a new energy came in, like a spiritual energy or a higher requirements from you to step out from the things that were harmonious and well built and everything, because you needed to put in this energy of change, spiritual change into the world. So you might feel punished for the last couple of years, maybe since 2010, 12, 14, okay, whenever it began for you with I want to say the big rapture, but okay, so you get the picture. Big transformation. And so you had something great, and you didn't lose it, but you were called to do something very brave and courageous, okay? And it made you feel unsettled, like you lost your footing. We see here a ship, can be a relationship or any kind of ship that is lost at sea, and it makes you very unsettled, or maybe even a little bit anxious. We can feel very emotional when we have the Two of Pentacles, because we are going through like a transition phase. We had something that we knew and loved and were accustomed to, and now we're going through a transition phase where we might need to sacrifice these old things, because we need to release energy to build something new. And we're going to build this new step by step, one foot in front of the other, even if we feel like we don't know, we know where we came from, but we don't know where we are going. So we knew what we had, but we don't know what we are going to get. So it's a little bit uncertainty. This card might hide a lot of different things that might have happened to you in your life. It might have been different losses, maybe of relationships, also of money. I'm feeling weather phenomenon, like things might have been blown around, or like water coming and destroying the house here. But it's it's for a good reason. Like the worst thing can happen for a good reason, and it's what I'm feeling like a transformation or a purge, or like it's like you're turning the chapter of a book, maybe in that direction, since we are Westerners. I am, at least, but I haven't always been. Okay, and here we have the Six of Cups, so more of the sixes with you. So with the Six of Cups, we get nostalgic about what we had, and I guess we can understand why, because it seems like you had like something beautiful, but then you needed to step up to the occasion, and it made you a little bit unbalanced. And here with the Six of Cups, you might have longing back to the situation that were before. Even some of you might have longing back to a situation that wasn't all that good, but they were familiar. So many people all around the world, they are not falling in love with, for example, the person that's their best match. They are falling in love with something that's familiar, something that they know. So if you have been brought up, for example, in a family where they didn't know how to show love, you are going to fall in love with something that's familiar. For example, the person that can't really show love. So you're nostalgic about something that might have been ripped from you for a good reason, for some kind of transformation, and also because you need to lead the way. You need to show people how to get from one situation where might have been very beautiful and everything, but still there was probably a lot of karma stick to this situation, and how to take yourself from that situation into a new prosperous one. But with the Six of Cups, you might get second thoughts, and you want to go back and you long for someone, you feel a soulmate connection with someone, or there might be a need of it's like a second chance sometimes. It's the past life and childhood card. So it's like you get a second chance to fix something from a past life with the karma, or from your childhood, from how you were conditioned. So if you feel yourself longing for a situation that might not be all good for you, it was kind of unsettling with what we see with the Two of Pentacles, it still has a good reason for it, because if you are connecting with that situation with this new set of eyes, you might be able to do things in a better way. For example, you meet a stranger and you fall in love, and you see that he or she is not that particularly good with showing emotions or showing that they care. Then you know immediately now that, okay, so this is my childhood wound or my past life karma. So now you can step into the situation with grace and do things that will actually heal you, and give back your the little child's self-respect that it lost when it was met by a world that didn't know how to love. So a bad situation that might unsettle your life is not here to destroy things for you, but actually give you another chance to fix things and do things in a more gracious way that you weren't able to do when you were a child, for example, or in a past life, because you didn't have the authority or the tools or the know-how or the wisdom that you have today. So something wants to become healed, so it's very beautiful. And the six are harmony after the 5, the disruptions. And here we have also a 10 of Cups. So with the 10 of Cups, it's probably this, that whatever we felt that we lost, we really didn't lose it, okay? It just needed to become unsettled, or not as sure as before, so you could heal these kind of wounds. So nothing is really lost. Nothing that you lost is really lost. It's still here with you in some shape and form. And the 10 of Cups is a very lucky card. 10, it's a lot of something. So 10 of coins, it's a lot of security, a lot of money, a lot of family, a lot of the tangible things that we can have when we are on Earth. Ten of Cups is a lot of water, emotions, yes, sensitivity, intuition, creativity, dreams, things like this. So this is the feminine tense, and it's like a lot of earth and a lot of water. That's very fertile. When you have, for example, the masculine elements of Ten of Wands and Ten of Swords, you kind of have a firestorm, and that's not as fertile. It's more phoenix kind of quality, ashes to ashes, dust to dust, and then rise again from the ashes. So this has a more mild touch to it, and it's actually it's like a soulmate relationship, or family forever, or together for the long haul, or this business which you have invested to, even if you felt that it was shaky for a while, it will have a happy outcome. And I'm talking in kind of presence or futures, because some of you will be watching this in May, so this energy might be like current. So, and it's also to not confuse myself too much. Five of Pentacles. So I think you have done this all on your own, not totally on your own, but we need to give you some credit, because you were in this situation and you made this situation. You took something where you felt like a victim, and you, with grace also, you made it into a much more prosperous thing. So something that happened to you in the past is now healed. You have fixed it, and you might have fixed it also for a lot of other people, because it's Six of Cups and Ten of Cups. It might be a lot of people in this mix. It was touch and go there for a while, but it seems like you made it. Okay, sorry for the camera. Okay, so that was in your past, Capricorn, and this is in your now. You might not have exactly everything you dream of, but it doesn't matter. You have one area of your life where you really have really made it. Like you have really done the works with yourself. You have gone back and fixed all that was broken, and it's now healed. So you need to congratulate yourself for that. Okay, so this is in the now. So it's the first part of June 2018. And here we have the Queen of Swords, and she comes underneath the Ten of Pentacles. Queen of Swords is Libra, usually. It can be Aquarius or Gemini as well, or any person that has this kind of sharp judgmental skills, which I talked with you about with the High Priestess, the Justice card, and the Judgment card. Justice is Libra. This is also Libra. So it's something, you are a watcher, or someone is a watcher of you. It's a person that doesn't engage too much, but they are seeing things. And here she doesn't even want to see it. It's like a person they don't like what they see, so they are backing off from the situation. It's not like they want to engage themselves in a situation. So you might be dealing with some person that think they have it all figured out, and if you have made like a great change with yourself, they are not going to fully believe you. They need to see it with their own eyes, and currently they don't want to open their eyes. So even if you have changed a lot through this transformation here, people might not recognize this. So your parents will still treat you like a child, even if you are now 25 and have your own apartment. Your siblings will still see you as the little sister, even if you're 90 years old. And yeah, you know the drill here. So people are not... they judge you from their first impression, is what I'm feeling. They are not going to see this change immediately that you have been going through. And this might be sad for you to feel this, but I'm thinking it just comes with the territory. People are not awakened enough to see the people that's actually in front of them for real. It's like what I remember something that Eckhart Tolle said in one of his lectures. You're with the person you are married to, and you haven't seen them in 15 years because you saw them only as they were, their true person. You have been married for 25 years, but it's first 10 years you still saw the person, but the last 15 years you have just seeing the image that you had of that person. So this is what I'm feeling here with this beautiful Queen of Swords. She's very spiritual. She's on her throne. She has this long hair showing the antenna, the connection with Earth, and it also comes with this bored guy here, this long beard. So I'm thinking there's some person here in this situation that's a little bit dried up, a little bit maybe too old, too wise, so they have become like almost a little bit mummified. They can't really appreciate the things that's surrounding them, even if like they are wise and evolved and everything, but it's like they are bored with the current existence. So if you have an energy like this in your life, or you have become an energy in this of this in your life, you can't really make someone else change their mind about you. And if you yourself feel like bored and like you have seen everything before, well, go out and surprise yourself. Do something that you are not used to doing. See where your boundaries are and step over them. You might be surprised where you have boundaries. Oh, and here we have a Prince of Pentacles. So the Prince of Pentacles is usually Taurus. It shows a certain shyness. It's a person holding like this big shield towards the world, and also it's somewhat relaxed with the sword, but anyway, holding it in a position ready to put it up for a fight. The horse is sitting there waiting for commands from their owner, but the owner seems to be hesitating. So one here is closing their eyes, the other person is hesitating, and they have this beautiful thing above their head, but it doesn't seem like it has affected them. So it feels almost like things have really shifted in your life, but you might not have noticed it. It's like you haven't kept your eyes enough open to see that things are actually totally different right now. You might live like here, this very singles energy, so like a single person. So even if you have worked so much with yourself that if you would actually go out and date right now, you would find much better candidates for love. But here you are kind of a little bit stuck in the old ways, how things were before you went through this massive healing and shift. It was a big shift. It was heavy probably for a couple of years or longer than that, but you made it through. You healed yourself, but still you're kind of living still in the old situation. And here we have the Seven of Swords. So this is someone that has lost their confidence in things. And also it's like a person with these ideas that I just talked about. I'm too old, I'm too young, I'm too ugly, I'm too handsome, I don't have any talents, I have too much talent, I'm weak, I'm strong, I'm too strong, whatever. It's a person having so many problems and seeing so many obstacles, and therefore not being able to enjoy the good in life. The Seven of Swords can also be a liar, but I'm not depicting this here. I'm more feeling like a shyness, or a person they don't open their mouth because it's kind of no idea, or they are not following their dream because it's no idea, and they're not going to go out and meet someone because it's no good idea. And might also not showing yourself as the new you, as you are, because it's no idea. People will see you as the person you were before anyways. So it's a little bit like a lack of spirit here, lack of it might be that your candle light here is running a little bit low. Sometimes we can get like this if we have a low energy level, if we are a little bit drained from something. So you might look at what is draining you and what is giving energy to you. So if you make that adjustment, you might have a much more positive attitude. But it can be Taurus, but it is most likely you, this Capricorn, but you, of course, you probably have it on the outside too, mirrored in some other person, maybe a air person or an earth person, also thinking that there's no use. So the person can be also acting like they are someone else than what they are. The Queen of Swords might have like a beating heart underneath here, where she really misses someone or really have this big dream, but she's not going to talk about it because it's no use. And this person also might, you know, someone might have flirted with this person, and he's hiding behind his shield. He feels his heart pounding in his chest because his this is his biggest dream, and that girl, she was also like in a totally other league, so he feels like, oh, it was amazing, but he's still hiding here because maybe it's not true. So it's a suspicious here also. The suspicious of life has always just given me lemons, and I have always been forced to make lemon juice. So why should this be any better? So I think like your life situation has improved a great deal. You haven't just noticed, okay? Things have shifted. You have cleaned yourself out of a lot of old junk. So therefore you're vibrating on a total new level, but you haven't really tested it out. So you still believe that you live in this old ways with the old rules, like the old rules for you. We all have our patterns. For example, with money, love, prosperity. So some of your friends might be very prosper, but they don't have a good love life. Another has a really good love life and is very prosper, like they are very great in creating things, but they never have any money. So it's different for different people because we have different patterns. And here your pattern has changed, but I think you haven't noticed. And here we have a 6 of swords, so it's another 6. We see it's like you being surrounded with 6s here. 6 of swords, 6 of cups, 6 of wands. And 6 of swords is the boat. It has been reincarnated. Okay, so it's still on. It might be something that has, you know, went overboard. A relationship, a situation that you really wanted, but it sank, okay? But it hasn't, okay? With the 6 of swords, it might be that people haven't really been able to move along from some old love or some old situation that gave them a lot of happiness and pleasure. So it feels like there's a second chance here, but no one is believing in it. So that is probably what making this reconciliation a little bit hard. If everyone believes like, we tried this before, we did the same thing before and it didn't work. So I have become wiser now, so I know it's not going to work. I am not living in an illusion anymore, but the dream is still there, and it's like the divine wants to come with a reward to you for hard work, and you don't believe your eyes and you refuse to open them as well. And if you open them, we kind of just see you watching over the edge of the shield there. So you are not really ready for this. And here it comes, the Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands might be a message, it's a new start, new growth. It can be a challenge as well. You might need to jump over the abyss to get this happening. So for example, Queen of Swords might need to open her eyes. The Prince of Pentacles might need to lower their shield, and this person might need to stop worrying. And they are all getting their butts in the boat, and then they come to maybe a waterfall or a big abyss where they can't take their boat and they need to make a leap for it. It's like the divine is asking you to invest energy and courage that you currently doesn't feel, okay? You're supposed to have hope in something that you have lost hope in. You're supposed to believe in something that you never think it's going to happen. So it's some kind of rejuvenation. It's like spring here, and we have the 6 of Cups, reconciliation, 10 of Cups, fulfillment, and the 6 of Swords, harmony between thoughts and heart. It feels impossible, but the dream wants to come true here, but it can't come true if no one believes in it. Because if you say, well, I don't believe in that, then the universe says, well, your wish is my command. So this is not possible because you said it was not going to be possible. Here you have the strongest energy card in the whole tarot. And here you have the second strongest, Ace of Wands. So it's like the sun's rays in a magnifying glass. And so you have this energy to your disposal, the spiritual energy, the the energy of manifestation, but it seems like you don't use it because you have grown up so much that you don't believe in fairy tales anymore, and not miracles either. So it's very hard then for the miracle to come here. And here we have the Wheel of Fortune, and you have learned it to be karma and, you know, the same old. But actually I think the Wheel of Fortune wants to come with miracles to you, and you are not ready. You are not at all ready. If it would come, maybe you would maybe you would just throw it overboard. I'm seeing funny pictures. I saw a bat coming when you stood on a boat, much greater boat than that, like with these old ships with sails and things, and you were like, so bat, what is that? Is probably something very shadowy and spiritual. They are talking with high frequency vibration sounds, and they have echo load. I don't know if the same, if it's yeah, okay, they have this thing that they can sense echoes and get back the feedback and know their surrounding, read their surrounding in this kind of way. So I'm thinking that you can do this, but you don't believe in what you are getting back. So you are your bat is sending out these frequencies, and you know the lay of the land, but you don't believe it until you see it with your clear eyes. So it might be that maybe your biggest dream is coming through, but you are not going to believe it until you see it. And well, I'm a little bit puzzled, because maybe you are asked to do something here, and I don't see you have the use of, like, not the juice, you know, juice like orange juice, to do the thing that's required. Because if you are have no spirit, how can you make the leap? You will fall into the pit there instead. No, if you need to have spirit like this deer here to be able to make the leap. Well, we'll see. And the sky here is very yellow as well. It's very radiant. It's beautiful. This is a little bit like scary, shadowy light, but it can be very early morning as well. And you go here with all these archetypes. This is kind of the hermit, the know-it-all, that has so many ideas of why things is going to go wrong. And this is the you probably Capricorn there, even if you are a female. This is your warrior archetype, and here he's ready with the sword. He keeps the female as the shield here instead. And here we have the female and her swords. So you have all these companions in the boat, and they are going somewhere, but it's like a brooding elite, this. And they are going to face something where they need to show more spirit and courage. Okay, so if you have something fantastic being presented to you, take the chance, even if you feel like, this again, because it seems like a real chance this time. Yes, and here we have an 8 of Pentacles. So that's putting your will together with the divine will and other people's will, and perfecting this 8, like this karmic wheel, doing something much better every time. It's like being a scientist, and you are going to invent the phone. You are not going to succeed the first time you try to invent the phone. People, they kind of want this to happen. If it doesn't happen, no, I couldn't invent the phone on my first try, they get very sad, and they don't want to try again. But people that actually make a difference in this world, they try and try and try and try and try and try until they have created this darn phone. So that is kind of what's asked of you, to not give up on the 5th or 6th attempt, but actually going the whole way until it's done. Okay, and here you have the High Priest. So it's like a power trip here a little bit. 6 of Wands, Prince of Pentacles, High Priest. So this is actually Taurus, very stubborn, and this is Leo. So I'm thinking you want things like my way or the highway, and you are not particularly open to change. It was good in the way they were before. Why did it have to change? Well, it had to change because this more emotional aspects wanted to come in. It's like you learned another language of emotions, and without this, what happened, it wouldn't have come to play. So it might be an authority figure in your life also not liking the way you are taking like over the control over your life, and leaving them in the backwaters. Loss of authority, loss of power. Okay, so you need to play on equal terms now instead of having power over people. So that can be something as well. So you need to play like nice with each other here. It can't be that one is like the leader and everyone is looking up to this person, but no one can tell them what's wrong or what they could do better, because then hell breaks loose, because this person here can't tolerate hearing something that they haven't come up with. So it's a little bit like know-it-all energy. And it doesn't have to be you, Capricorn. It can be another person in your life, or it can be one of your archetypes. Like you have an archetype that's very it has a lot of its self-worth invested in what they know and what they are good at, what they can create. And if someone comes and is better or equally good, it's like, well, then to hell with it. I needed to be best of this or not at all. So, and there's other layers here also, but this reading is starting to get awfully long, so I'll continue. Here we have the World card. So if you just go through this emotional state where you're unsettled, and through the moods that, okay, if something is going to be challenging, I'm not wanting to do it. It's like, well, I give up. And if you kind of don't give up, but actually take yourself, keep your dream and still going towards it, even if the win didn't come easy, okay? So then you will be on your highest path towards your highest destiny. 8 of Pentacles, High Priest, the World. This is very spiritual, and it's hard work, like the farmer putting seed to the ground and getting a great harvest. So you are asked to do the work, even if it's tedious, even if it's not rewarding every step of the way, because the end is going to be rewarding, the harvest is going to be rewarding, and the farmer knows it, okay? So they put in a lot of effort and work, even though they have to, they know that now it's hard then, it's going to be hard the next month, but here comes my reward. So they are willing to sacrifice this time to get the reward in the end. So it's about endurance. It's about not giving up before it's like your dream is about to come true, and you want to give up now. And here we have the High Priestess. So it seems like a little bit of marriage between the High Priest and the High Priestess. So the feminine and the masculine needs to work together, needs to come together. So humanity's broken heart is supposed to be healed. Authority is important, feelings is important. Both things needs to come together. Knowing things and having a hunch of things needs to come together, and kind of become this mind and heart together. So it seems like even if you think that you are the most spiritual person in your relationship, it might not be true. It might be that you have equals among your peers, and that they are doing the same work as you. It's just that you don't really know it, because it seems like people are keeping things a secret a little bit, because maybe they don't want to expose everything that they are going through, all the transformation. They might not be able to talk about it before it is actually like done, because they don't really know themselves. So I'm feeling like it's something of this. But if a person finally opens their mouth and starts speaking, they might surprise you, okay? Last card is the King of Pentacles. So this is you, and you come underneath the 10 of Cups, Ace of Wands, and the King of Pentacles. So it seems in the end that you are the one that has the most hope here. You feel hope, you feel inspiration. So it might be someone else in this reading, or you have like ups and downs as well, but it might be someone else in this reading that is not as inspired, because they they are unused to how things have become, so they need to some time to get used to it. Some time. It's like this this harvest. It's going to take a certain amount of time before you can get the harvest, when you can celebrate that the harvest is collected. Okay, so you need to have a little patience, even if you are full of love and inspiration. Maybe your peers need more time to adjust to this new situation, this new kind of circumstances. So that's kind of beautiful. And it has been a long and emotional journey for you, but it seems like you end up just fine. Okay. And here we have the High Priest. You know what I said with the High Priest? 2, Justice 2, Judgment 2. You have 2 of Pentacles. You had 2 of Wands in the beginning. So it's like you have some kind of control over this situation. You know things, even if it seems hopeless. You know things. It's like the farmer knows that the harvest is going to come. So it might be that you have past life experience from similar situation, or your spirit just knows. It knows things that it gets through the grapevine through the vibration frequencies of ether. Okay, so I will read the 7 of Swords for you, the central card of this reading. There are at least 2 distinctly different interpretations that may apply to this card in a reading. One suggests that the agile and insightful quality represented by swords and the intellect, combined with the mystical and courageous voyaging quality of the number 7. Sevens are always connected to challenges. It's like when situation is out of your control, because the divine wants you to jump through a hoop so you will learn something new. Creates an exciting atmosphere which acts like a breath of fresh air. New ideas challenge old assumptions, insights and fresh ideas spring up, and great progress is made. So this is what I felt with this whole reading, that someone has changed, like bottom up, really changed themselves, and they are all new, but these people here, they don't even recognize this big change. It's like it passes before their eyes unnoticed. The other interpretation relates to a more controlled use of the intellect. Someone with a highly developed mind may meet a challenge with a strategy that could be bold and daring, or simply cunning and manipulative. You may be using your intellect, your wit, or your charm to gain an advantage or recover something that has been lost, but you need to be careful that you don't start believing the end justifies the means, or that you slip into Machiavellian behavior in which you scheme and manipulate to get what you want. In a more general sense, the card may be referring to research or strategy planning, or possibly espionage, deceit, or escape. And what I feel with this card was what's traditionally like the traditional meaning from the Tot Tarot, 7 of Swords, and it's this with loss of hope. And I'm thinking people lose hope because they can't use their old ways of manipulating, planning, and scheming, because it doesn't work on you anymore. You're too cheery here. you listen to another radio channel. You are tuned into another world. So this old world with its power and manipulation doesn't apply to you anymore, so you're not affected, and that might make this person very upset with you, because what they used on you before, maybe to get attention, to some kind of drama, it doesn't work on you anymore. This is Lilith. It was Adam's first wife, but she was listening to the divine instead of to Adam and his patriarchal God. And Adam wanted someone that was more obedient, more like going with him. He wanted to be the big kahuna here, okay? So he didn't like it. So he kind of divorced Lilith. She was cast out. He was running after Eve instead. But now it's the era when Lilith comes back to surface, and she is back on her throne, and you are too, you see. Because Capricorn I have learned, is a feminine sign, but it feels very patriarchal and masculine, and it's because it has been hijacked by the masculine to do its errand, creating things on earth. But it's like this old new you is coming up instead. You see the sky and the bird here, that's your intuition. Your high priest is working through you. So it looks very profound, okay? So I will take a card for you from the Sacred Rebel Oracle by Alana Fairchild. Okay, you got the same card as Cancer. So you are maybe on a similar path as Cancer, being a good example for others, and the other things that we saw. So your heart is big enough to dream not only for yourself, but for a new humanity. Imagine a world that is healed with respect, understanding, and with community that fosters life. Even your dreams that relate to you alone will contribute positively to the greater good, because that is the nature of your heart. Your heart naturally and intelligently cooperates in a grand scheme of loving creativity, working to heal the hearts of the world. So, healing of the human heart. The heart creates win-win situations, 6 of Wands, that benefit the individual and the collective. You are being asked to honor your growing desire to cooperate with conscious, like-minded people. Your collaborative dreaming is a heart-inspired win-win, bringing mutual enhancement to yourself and others. The heart wants to love and be loved. Working with others creatively is a way to allow the heart to grow. It is a chance for you to learn how to honor yourself and others, and to find ways to live and let live simply by growing and strengthening your active trust in your heart's guidance. You are asked to bear the rough patches that can happen when you work creatively with others. Ideas might clash and there can be friction, particularly if you have different way of working. Sometimes big dreams needs more fire to ignite them into reality. You have a lot of fire here. Where were I? Yes, more fire might require more friction along the creative path. It is not meant to be permanent condition, just an aspect of the creative process from which you can learn something useful if you wish. Your guidance is to embrace any experience of friction or tension within yourself or as you work with another with compassion, detachment, and tolerance. Okay, so beautiful, great card that also summed up this reading very well, as it did with Cancer's reading. So, my dear Capricorn, I'm very grateful for all the likes that you gave me, that made you be the second star sun sign I read for. So I hope you keep up the good work with hitting the likes button, and I will keep up my good work, hopefully, to help you through whatever it is that you are going through here. So take really, really good care, and I welcome you back to my mid-month June reading that I will perform in the beginning of June. Okay, bye-bye.